Like and subscribe to Sinister Shadow Studio, Innocence Lost. The moon hung low in the night sky, casting an eerie glow over the desolate playground. The rusty swings creaked softly in the wind, their chains clinking like distant whispers. I stood alone, surrounded by the haunting silence of the abandoned town. This place, once filled with laughter and the innocent chatter of children, had become a graveyard for their long-forgotten joys. My flashlight flickered, casting long shadows that danced on the cracked pavement. I shivered, not just from the biting chill, but from the unseen presence that seemed to linger in the air. I had heard the rumors about this place, the tales of evil children who had once roamed these streets, their innocent faces twisted into malevolent grins. As I walked through the deserted streets, memories flooded back to me, memories of a time when I too was a carefree child, playing tag and hide and seek until the sun dipped below the horizon. But those days were long gone, replaced by a darkness that had settled over the town like a thick fog. I approached the decaying elementary school, its windows shattered and doors hanging off their hinges. The playground in front of it seemed frozen in time, with the rusted remnants of a merry-go-round and the skeletal frame of a jungle gym looming eerily against the night sky. The wind picked up, carrying with it the distant sound of laughter, not the joyful laughter of children at play, but a sinister, chilling cackle that sent shivers down my spine. I tightened my grip on the flashlight, my heart pounding in my chest. I had come here seeking answers, determined to unravel the mystery of the evil children who had once called this place home. As I ventured deeper into the heart of the ghostly town, the shadows seemed to come alive, whispering secrets that only the abandoned walls could hear. I could feel eyes watching me from the darkness, unseen faces smirking at my intrusion into their long-forgotten domain. I reached the remains of an old library, its books now reduced to ashes. The air was thick with an otherworldly energy, and I sensed a malevolent presence closing in on me. The laughter grew louder, echoing through the empty halls like a haunting melody. Suddenly, I saw them, the figures of children, their silhouettes dancing in the moonlight. But these were not the innocent faces of youth. Their eyes glowed with an unnatural malevolence. As they approached, I could see the twisted grins on their faces, a mockery of the joyful expressions they once wore. "Play with us," they whispered in unison, their voices a haunting chorus that sent chills down my spine. The wind howled, carrying with it the echoes of the past, the laughter, the games, and the innocence that had been lost to the shadows. I stumbled backward, my heart racing as the spectral children closed in. Their laughter became more frenzied, a cacophony of wicked delight that filled the air. I tried to flee, but the shadows seemed to reach out and grab at my every step, pulling me deeper into the nightmare. Through the dilapidated streets and twisted alleys, I stumbled and gasped for breath. The malevolent children surrounded me, their eyes gleaming with an unholy light. I felt a cold hand on my shoulder, and I turned to see a small girl, her face pale and eyes vacant. "Join us," she whispered, her voice sending shivers down my spine. The other children closed in, their laughter now a maniacal symphony that drowned out the beating of my own heart. In that moment, I realized the truth. These children were not the victims of some external force. They had become the embodiment of darkness itself. Their innocence had been consumed by the malevolent energy that now gripped the town, turning them into twisted echoes of their former selves. As the children closed in, their laughter reaching a fevered pitch, I felt a cold wind envelop me. The world around me blurred, and I found myself standing once again in the deserted playground. The spectral children were gone, leaving only the rusted swings and shattered memories behind. I stumbled away from the haunted town, my mind reeling from the nightmarish encounter. The moon cast a cold glow over the abandoned streets as I walked, haunted by the echoes of the evil children who had once called this place home. In the distance, the wind carried the distant laughter of lost innocence, a chilling reminder of the darkness that lurked beneath the surface of childhood joy. Whispers of the damned. The town of Ravenswood held a secret, hidden behind its idyllic facade. It was a place where innocence and malevolence danced hand in hand, and I unwittingly became entangled in their sinister waltz. The first time I laid eyes on the children, a pair of twins named Lily and Lucas, they appeared like cherubs with golden curls and porcelain skin. Their eyes, however, betrayed a darkness that seemed incongruent with their angelic features. It was as if a storm brewed within them, ready to unleash chaos upon those who dared to get too close. The town had its share of strange occurrences, but the children stood out like ominous beacons of malevolence. Their laughter, once innocent, now resonated with an unsettling undertone. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off, that these seemingly ordinary kids harbored a malevolent secret. My unease deepened when I began hearing whispers late at night, carried by the wind that swept through the ancient trees surrounding my house. The whispers spoke of ancient rituals, of a pact forged in shadows, and the children's names were uttered like an incantation that sent chills down my spine. As the days passed, Lily and Lucas began to infiltrate my dreams, their eyes gleaming with an otherworldly light. I tried to distance myself, but an invisible force seemed to draw me closer, like a moth to a flame. It wasn't long before their unsettling influence seeped into my waking hours, clouding my thoughts with paranoia and fear. One fateful night, drawn by an irresistible compulsion, I found myself wandering towards the children's home. The moon hung low in the sky, casting an eerie glow upon the desolate streets. The town slept, unaware of the impending darkness that loomed over it. The twins' house stood silent, its windows reflecting the moon's pale light. As I approached, a sense of foreboding gripped my heart. The front door creaked open, seemingly of its own accord, inviting me into the abyss that awaited within. The air inside was thick with an otherworldly energy. Candlelight flickered in the dimly lit hallway, casting dancing shadows on the peeling wallpaper. The whispers, once distant, now reverberated through the house, echoing like the anguished cries of lost souls. I followed the haunting sound to a room at the end of the hallway. The door stood ajar, revealing a scene that etched itself into the canvas of my nightmares. Lily and Lucas, their eyes ablaze with an unholy fire, stood in the center of a circle drawn in crimson, surrounded by flickering candles. In their hands, they clutched tattered dolls, each one resembling a member of the town. As the children chanted in an ancient tongue, the dolls contorted and writhed, mirroring the agony of their real-life counterparts. It was a grotesque puppetry of pain, a ritual that bound the town's fate to their malevolent whims. Frozen in terror, I watched as the twins turned their attention towards me. Their voices rose in a cacophony of guttural chants, and the room seemed to pulsate with an otherworldly energy. A force beyond my comprehension compelled me to step into the circle, locking me into the nightmarish ritual. As the chanting reached a crescendo, the walls of reality seemed to warp and twist. Shadows coalesced into grotesque shapes, and the air crackled with an unholy power. I felt a searing pain as tendrils of darkness wrapped around my soul, tethering me to the malevolent force that lurked within the children. In that moment, I understood the true nature of Lily and Lucas. They were conduits for ancient evils, vessels through which the whispers of the damned manifested. The tone of Ravenswood, once blissfully unaware, now teetered on the precipice of oblivion, ensnared by the malevolence that had taken root in the hearts of two innocent-looking children gone horribly wrong. As the ritual reached its zenith, a deafening roar echoed through the house, drowning out the children's chants. The very fabric of reality seemed to unravel, and I glimpsed the abyss yawning open before me. In that harrowing moment, I realized I had become an unwitting participant in a macabre ceremony that transcended the boundaries of the living and the dead. And then, with a blinding flash of light, the world collapsed around me. I awoke with a start, gasping for breath as if emerging from the depths of a suffocating nightmare. The room was bathed in the soft glow of morning light, and the oppressive atmosphere that had clung to the air had dissipated. For a fleeting moment, I questioned the reality of the horrors I had witnessed. As I stumbled out into the daylight, the town of Ravenswood appeared unchanged. The streets were filled with the hustle and bustle of everyday life, and the memory of the malevolent children seemed like a fading nightmare. But deep within, an insidious doubt lingered, a nagging fear that the darkness unleashed by Lily and Lucas still pulsed beneath the surface, waiting for the opportune moment to rise again. Ravenswood, with its quaint charm and hidden malevolence, remained a town where innocence and evil coexisted, forever bound by the echoes of a nightmarish ritual that defied the boundaries of reality. The whispers of the damned lingered in the shadows, a haunting reminder that even the most innocent faces could harbor the deepest and darkest secrets, innocent eyes, malevolent souls. The sleepy town of Hollow Creek harbored secrets beneath its seemingly peaceful exterior. When my wife Emma and I moved there to escape the bustling city, we thought we had found our haven. Little did we know, the innocence of childhood could twist into something far more sinister. Our quaint cottage sat on the outskirts of town, surrounded by dense woods that whispered ancient tales of the unknown. Our neighbors, the Miller family, seemed like the idyllic picture of suburban life. Their 3 children, twins Ava and Ethan, and their younger sibling Caleb, appeared to be the epitome of innocence with their bright eyes and cheerful laughter. As the weeks passed, peculiar incidents began to unfold, casting a shadow over the once charming town. It started innocently enough: small pranks, missing belongings, and unsettling whispers in the wind. Emma and I brushed them off as the mischief of mischievous kids, not giving it much thought until the night we heard the eerie melody. One moonlit evening, a haunting tune echoed through the air, seeping into our dreams like a malevolent lullaby. Emma and I exchanged worried glances, following the haunting melody that led us to the Millers' backyard. There, under the pale glow of the moon, the Miller children danced in a bizarre, ritualistic fashion, their eyes vacant and their smiles devoid of warmth. In the days that followed, an unnerving change came over the Miller children. The once vibrant town square transformed into a desolate playground where they gathered, their innocent faces twisted into unsettling grins. The townsfolk whispered of an ancient curse, an ominous force that preyed on the purest of hearts, turning them into conduits of malevolence. Unable to ignore the growing darkness, Emma and I delved into the town's history, uncovering tales of a long-forgotten tragedy. Decades ago, a group of children had gone missing, only to return changed, their eyes reflecting a darkness that sent shivers down the spines of anyone who dared to look. Legend spoke of a cursed song that bound their souls, forever linking them to the town and perpetuating the cycle of malevolence. As we unraveled the mystery, the Miller children's behavior escalated. Hollow Creek became a ghost town after sunset, the air thick with an otherworldly tension. We became prisoners in our own home, tormented by the haunting melody that echoed through the night, drawing us closer to the heart of the malevolence. One fateful evening, unable to resist the call, we ventured into the woods, following the spectral notes that led us to an ancient oak tree. Beneath its gnarled branches, the Miller children stood in a trance, their eyes gleaming with an unholy light. The cursed song intensified, vibrating through the air like a malevolent force. As we confronted them, their faces contorted into grotesque masks of malice. Ava, Ethan, and Caleb, once innocent and joyful, were now vessels of darkness. They spoke in chilling unison, recounting the tragic tale of the lost children, the curse that bound them, and the eternal thirst for innocence that drove them to corrupt the purest souls. Realization struck like a bolt of lightning. Our arrival in Hollow Creek had triggered the malevolence that lay dormant, feeding on the innocence of the town's newcomers. The Miller children, once victims, were now perpetuating the curse, forever ensnared in a cycle of wickedness. Desperation gripped our hearts as we tried to break free from the sinister enchantment. We pleaded with the Miller children, attempting to evoke the remnants of their lost humanity. Yet, their eyes remained vacant, and their words dripped with venomous intent. In a desperate bid to break the curse, Emma and I sought guidance from the town's elderly sage, a recluse rumored to possess knowledge of ancient rituals. Under the veil of night, we followed the sage's cryptic instructions, hoping to sever the cursed connection that bound the Miller children and, by extension, the entire town. As we conducted the ritual, a tempest of malevolent energy surrounded us. The haunted melody reached a deafening crescendo, threatening to consume our very souls. In that harrowing moment, we glimpsed the tormented faces of the lost children who had succumbed to the curse long ago. As the last notes of the ritual dissipated, an eerie silence settled over Hollow Creek. The once vibrant town, plagued by the shadows of its dark history, began to heal. The Miller children, released from the curse's grip, collapsed to the ground, their eyes regaining a glimmer of humanity. The townsfolk, unaware of the supernatural ordeal that had unfolded, slowly returned to their homes. Hollow Creek reclaimed its facade of tranquility, concealing the haunting tale of innocence gone awry. Yet Emma and I knew that the scars of that night would linger, a testament to the malevolence that dwelled in the hearts of children, an innocence twisted into something far more sinister.
Like our video if you enjoyed listening. Let us know in the comments what spooked you and share.